Hi everyone, this is Susie again, and today we are going to be making some green, creamy, vegan chilaquiles. Chilaquiles verdes. And these are the ingredients that we will be using for the sauce. It's some tomatillos, serranos or jalapeños, garlic, onion, salt, pepper, and some sour cream of your choice. Whether you make your own or you buy your sour cream, whatever your favorite vegan sour cream is, or if you don't like or have any sour cream, you can make it still without any sour cream, and that's absolutely fine. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to peel our tomatillos. This is what a tomatillo looks like, and you just peel this off. And I usually just put it in the pot where I'm going to boil them, or you can just set them aside and then rinse them out. And then once they're rinsed really well, then we'll put them in the pot with some water to boil. So once you peel it, that's all. You just throw this out, and they're a little bit sticky, but you know, just water. You just rinse them out with water. And they will probably still be a little sticky, but it doesn't matter. So it doesn't. They don't have to not be sticky. Okay, they just have to be cleaned. So we'll do that. Okay, so I have about 6 tomatillos and 1 serrano pepper. Like I said, you can add a jalapeño. Those are less spicy than the serranos. And you can add as much as you want. Okay, so now we're going to cook this. So I added enough water, kind of to cover. You see they're floating in there. And we're just going to cover this up, and we're going to let them get really soft, okay? So we'll be back. Okay, so while the sauce is cooking, we're going to do our tortilla pieces or chips. And what I do is I bake my tortillas in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350, and I just turn on my oven, place my tortillas on the rack, but I have a aluminum foil on my rack in case you haven't seen my video on vegan tostadas. That's where I kind of show you how I make these. And then I just bake them for 30 minutes or so, and I don't turn them over or anything. And then once they're done, I just take them out and you let them cool, and then you can store them in any airtight container, room temperature, and they'll last for a few days. And this is how I make them, because originally people usually take their tortillas from the packet, they cut it up in like small pieces, and then they fry the tortillas in the oil. But because we're trying to use the minimum amount of oil, this is why I do this. So your tortillas are already completely cooked, they don't need to cook, and if you actually want to make it without any oil, that's perfect. You would just break them up separately and have them ready for when your sauce is ready, and then you just put them in there and mix it in the sauce. But since I still do use a tiny bit of oil, we're going to break these up like so. Because these are my tostadas. You can use this as a tostada, or you can use this as your chilaquiles. Okay, and you just break those up to whatever size you like them, and do that. And we're going to cook them for a little bit, okay? Okay, so now we're going to cook our tortillas. Oh, I have 5 of the tostadas that I put into my pan. Okay, turn on the heat, and you can just add whatever oil that you cook with, whether it's olive oil. I have canola oil right here, and you just do, let's see if you can see, like that much. It's like 1/4 of a teaspoon. That's all I use, just to give it a tiny bit of flavor, and so that the tortillas brown up really nicely. And you just want to mix that really well. Have all the tortillas coated with the oil, with the tiny bit of oil. I always find that that's pretty much enough. And you're just going to mix that all in really well. Kind of hard for me to talk with this is really noisy, but you're just going to do this for maybe like 3 to 4 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like, okay? Okay, so after about 3 minutes, this is what they look like. And you can go a little bit more if you want them a little darker, a little crispier, but this is pretty much the way that I like them. Once they start turning color, then that's good enough for me. And I did add a tiny bit more of oil because it wasn't enough. Last time I think I did like a teaspoon and it was too much, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't doing too much oil. So it was about like half a teaspoon or so of oil, okay? So let's keep going. And once your tortillas are done, you just transfer them over to a bowl. And this is the pan that we're going to be cooking our sauce in, so you don't need to use any other pan. You just transfer this over. I'm going to clean that up better, and then it's just going to be ready for the sauce. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes and the tomatillos have changed color a little bit, and I think now they're ready to be used. And the other thing that I was going to say is that I make this meal for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Traditionally it's made for breakfast, but we use it, I make it for anything, so it'll be good for anything. It doesn't have to be a breakfast meal at all. And the other thing is that maybe, I've never done this before, but it just occurred to me that maybe you can do the sauce, because the sauce does take a little longer to make, that maybe the sauce can be made the day before together with your tostadas, and that way in the morning, you just take it out, heat it through, and add your tortillas, and just serve it up. So that might be a good tip. If you try it, let me know. And now I'm just going to heat up some of my pinto refried beans. And I think that's it. Let's keep going. Okay, so now we're going to transfer our tomatillos over to our blender. And these are pretty hot. You can let them cool a little bit if you want. And reserve the liquid just in case you want them to be a little bit more, watery. You can just add some of the liquid. I usually don't, but I like to leave it there just in case. And then the other thing is that because I don't like to waste my serranos, if I feel that I will just boil like one of them, and if I feel that it's not spicy enough for me, then I'll just add raw serranos to the blender when everything is blending, so that it gives it a little bit more spice, and that way in case they do come out too spicy, you don't just waste them, because then I don't know what to do with them. So anyways, to this we're going to add some garlic, and this is as much as you like, and about 1/4 of a cup of white onion, and again as much as you like, and then about like that much of sour cream. And this, I use the tofutti. I'll probably make a video separately for this, but I mix the tofutti with vinegar, lemon juice, and salt, and that's how I make my sour cream, one of the versions of the sour cream. So that's what I did with this one. And then you're just going to add some salt and pepper to taste. And we're just going to blend this up until smooth. Okay, so the sauce is blended up, and this is what it looks like. And you can add more sour cream if you want to, if you want it a little bit more creamier. And the other thing that I have also done is, if you don't have any sour cream or run out or something, you can just add some cashews to make it creamy. If you soak them, it'd be better. So let's say you soak them while you are cooking your tomatillos, and then you just rinse them out and add them like that to your sauce. That also makes it creamy. But you do have to have a high-speed blender so that it smooths out completely all the cashews, okay? And now we're just going to add our sauce back to our pan. And we're just going to heat it through for a couple minutes. It doesn't need too much because the tomatillos and the chiles already cooked. So I'll just say for just once it starts bubbling, then it's done. You don't need more than that, okay? Okay, and to reheat your refried beans, you can add a little bit of oil if you like. That makes it really good, but if you're not using any oil like I am right now, you can just add a tiny splash of water. Just a tiny splash, just to, like that. Just to get it going, okay? And that will help it to not stick so much if you're not adding any oil. And that's it. Okay, it's been 2 minutes and the sauce is already bubbling up, as you can see. Just give it a little stir. And because everything is already cooked pretty much, you don't need to cook this for too long. Like, I won't cook it for more than 2 to 3 minutes. So this is, to me, this is ready, okay? So now what I do is I just turn off the heat and I add my tortilla chips to it. And you just want to stir that really well so that all the tortilla chips are completely coated with the sauce. And while this is getting done, you can just toast some bread, some sandwich bread, or heat up some French rolls or Portuguese rolls or bolillos, anything that you like so that you can accompany your chilaquiles with. Oh, there's a toast. And let me show you what they look like. So that's what they look like. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. So let's just plate this up. Okay, so there you go. Those are the green, creamy vegan chilaquiles, and I topped them off with some of my vegan queso fresco that I have the recipe for in one of my videos. And those are your beans, and there's your toast, and you can just have some, hot tea or coffee, whatever it is that you guys like. And oops, let's see. I just want you to see that beauty. I hope you guys give it a try and enjoy it. Thank you for watching. The other thing that I was going to say is, if I ever do forget to mention something in one of my videos, I usually make a note of it in the description box below. So you can please read those. Anything that I wrote down there is something that I forgot because I don't know how to edit my videos. So I apologize for that, but just so you know. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.